All right, guys, let's get this party started. Happy 4th of July, though by the time I post this video, it will not be the 4th of July, maybe the 5th of July. I don't really know, but probably. Anyway, I wasn't really planning on coming on and doing anything. I was just going to have, the old 4th day, but we were blessed by the content gods. We were blessed by, I guess, some more Boogie content. Yeah, we all know he did a crypto scam. He got called out by CoffeeZilla. I'll try to remember to link that video in the description, but I might forget because I'm dumb. To me, I know he's on social media pretending that he didn't know this is what it was and blah, 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 and this is the first time he's hearing it and yada, yada, yada. But it makes absolutely no sense. He reached out to CoffeeZilla in the middle of him engaging in this crypto scam, which to me suggests that he wanted the coverage. That's his whole thing. Rage baiting coverage for his terrible podcast that is not doing particularly well, that he had to beg other people to do for him so that he could just show up instead of make his own content, even though he could very easily engage in a content strategy that could make him enough money to live. But he's lazy and doesn't want to do anything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now he's playing this game where he's like, oh no guys, like I want you to like me, blah blah blah, like I didn't mean to do this, oh please. And he's just going on a crypto scam. He's going on a tour. He's going on a crypto scam tour. So just be aware of this behavior, because again, the whole point of this is to drum up some attention for his podcast. So just be aware of it so you don't interact with it. But yeah, he's just a bad guy. That's pretty much it. So let's get this going. This is from my buddy Caleb Hammer. Okay, we're buddies now, because I said so.
We got a special episode this 4th of July. My name is Caleb Hammer, and this is Your Week in Money. So we don't cover YouTube drama here. That's not what we do. This is business, finance, economic news only.
Which is a good idea, because, Caleb had some, BS drama a while ago, which we're not going to get into because it doesn't matter. But not covering it can be good for your channel, because you know what, at the end of the day, people don't necessarily care about what's drama you're going through most of the time. They might think some things like, oh, I don't like the direction that this might be going, blah 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 blah. But if you take that feedback and you just don't acknowledge it, but like you acknowledge it privately, but you don't acknowledge it publicly, and you just start potentially shifting, you're pretty much good.
But since this is financial news, and it's been a big topic across the internet this past week, we're going to talk about the Boogie2988 situation. Many of you also might know that I interviewed him back on my main show, Financial Audit, about 6-9 months ago, and I got an intimate view into his financial situation, and it's really not good. So my main goal here was to have an unbiased interview, not looking for...
Yeah, and he hasn't really put any effort at all into changing his situation, man. He really is in a good spot to change his situation, just refuses to do so.
Any gotcha, not looking to support him, not looking for any point of view specifically other than to understand the situation currently happening. So here is an unedited, open, candid conversation with Boogie2988 about his potential crypto scam.
There's never going to be an actual candid conversation with Boogie. Everything he does is please like me, please like me, please like me, right? Unless he's in one of his rare moods where he's like, yeah, fuck the world, I'm a cool guy, which lasts like 2 seconds before he spirals into, crybaby attitude. But there's no such thing as a candid conversation with him. Like, you can't have one. He knows all of his flaws. He's lazy and doesn't want to change anything. That's it. That's his whole person. Talking about the guy who paraded his girlfriend around on his documentary and made her cry for the camera. Like, we're not talking about a particularly good person. We're talking about somebody who has no values left. It's just a sad person.
Hey, Caleb, what's up?
Hey, Boogie. So thanks for taking the time to do a call. I know you're driving right now, but so just to confirm on your end, this conversation is being recorded.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And this is just a news show. Honestly, we don't really do YouTube drama or anything. So it's just, I'm not looking for any gotcha or anything like that. I just want to get your perspective on this.
Just to be clear, not everybody in drama is looking for a gotcha necessarily, but I know what Caleb means.
And just have an open, honest conversation.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so any direct questions, or I can just start spewing information?
I've been following this whole thing on Twitter. I watched the coffee video. When it comes to this, launching this kind of pump and dump, you're really telling the world through the interviews that you were unaware of it being a pump and dump. But
yeah, I just don't believe that. Again, if he was unaware, he wouldn't have reached out to CoffeeZilla like in the middle of doing the exchange. I think it was for attention. Like, that's the type of attention he wants, is negative attention. He's addicted to some kind of attention. That's pretty much it. And his whole content strategy relies on that. His podcast is about being a lolcow. So, like, to him, this is a smart, good business strategy. It's dumb. He's being stupid, but that is what his business strategy is.
But I'm kind of confused how you thought no one in your audience would sign up for it and lose any money when you specifically on Financial Audit told me about how you lost your entire life savings on crypto. How did you think no one would lose money in your general audience?
I mean, if you wanted to be really charitable to Boogie, I'm pretty sure his deal he got was like $5,000 up front, $5,000 after the week, because he had to like continue to plug it for a week. And then he's mentioned something about 2% of something. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm assuming it's more money in the back end. You could, if you wanted to be charitable to Boogie, who deserves none of it, say, oh, well, you know, maybe he thought that his reach was completely dead and that nobody would interact with his posts at all because they know what kind of a loser he is. But then you see that the posts, it got like 7 million views, and it was more than just like the audience that typically engages with, you know, the Boogie criticism, we'll call it. And it's people that may have used to known who he was and were like, oh man, I remember this guy, this is funny. Or even people who don't know who he is. They think he's just like a funny fat guy that's trying to imitate Andrew Tate in like a satirical way. You know, that's if you want to be charitable. I have really no interest. I don't think that he deserves charitability, but...
Well, first off, to call it a pump and dump is bizarre to me because there has...
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was dumped already, no? Pretty sure it was up to like $3 million in value, and then after the week, it was down to like $150,000 in value or something from what I remember checking. I don't remember the specifics, but it has lost a significant amount. I'm pretty sure it was dumped already, no?
It has to be a dump for a pump and dump, is my understanding.
Pretty sure there was a dump. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, but...
I held 2% of the coins in a developer wallet, and I never sold a coin. I burnt the wallet. I burnt my entire 2%, deleted it from the internet. So I did not participate in any dumps. And if you look at the
okay, you not participating in this has nothing to do with whether it happened or not.
Developer wallets, you'll see that they sold a fraction of what they had. Like a small 1%, 2%, they're holding on to everything as well. So if there was a dump here, I'm not sure who's doing the dump part. And that was always...
I could swear that they already dumped.
Please, the agreement. We didn't want to like flash pan sell it. We wanted to try to build something. And secondly, to me, this was the pet rock of crypto coins because it's the dumbest coin you could ever purchase.
It's so funny because as time goes on, he gets better and better at rewriting history to communicate like a new point. Like every time he goes into a conversation, he gets washed. He comes out with another excuse of like, oh, actually, you know what? Let's go with this instead.
Like you said, I'm the guy who lost his entire life savings in crypto. Why would you buy that person's coin?
It's a good point, except for, like I said before, there is probably a lot of people who don't really know who Boogie is or what his story is that bought on this coin on Twitter. Twitter is a generally different audience from his YouTube audience. 7 million people watched it. Not everybody is, you know, keeping up to date on like the pathetic antics of Boogie. So that's why, again, he may not have thought it would have gotten so viral on Twitter, but
that's the joke. That's the pet rock of it all.
Okay.
I don't understand why anybody reasonable would look at this and say, that's a coin for me. Now, I'll tell you who did buy the coin, and this is trackable. You can look at the wallets. The developers have done the work. It's people who are deeply entrenched in trading meme coins every day. 8,000 meme coins fire off a day, and I believe that's not an exaggeration.
Okay, and I mean, like, these are usually people who are investing in meme coins, because I understand that there are coins with stability. Meme coins are individuals that are desperate for a a get-rich-quick scheme. You know, it's usually a bunch of young men that are just like desperate to succeed in some way and are looking to invest like whatever little amount of money they have into another coin, hoping it'll be the next Dogecoin or whatever the fuck it is. That's what it is. Like, okay, yeah, I'm just taking advantage of people, of desperate people. Oh, okay, cool, good stuff, man, good job.
That's the number that fired off. And the people that bought my coin are holding 20, 30, 50 other meme coins because this is their hobby.
I like how he says it's their hobby and not like their legitimate addiction. The fucking food addict, the food and stripper addict is sitting here not acknowledging this like a literal like addiction for people.
Now, admittedly, I knew there was a possibility that one of my fans would see this advertisement, who's never dabbled in crypto before, would sign up to Coinbase, then use Coinbase to figure out how to purchase Solana, which is a chore in itself, and then use that Solana to get on Pump.fun and purchase my meme.
Did I hear that Boogie is planning on making an NFT project to capitalize off the attention and make more money? Whatever. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. What are you going to do, man? He doesn't care about having no credibility. He's just a fucking pathetic turd, so.
Coin in the roughly 90 seconds it was on the front page. I always knew that was a possibility, but it's also a mathematical improbability for that to happen.
Yeah, you said in the coffee interview that there's no such thing as no one losing money, and you didn't realize that. How did you not realize that there is no possibility of no one losing money? Because you do have still on YouTube millions of people, whether or not they're watching your videos, like you do get front page of the internet when.
Well, I mean, did he put this on his actual YouTube channel? Because I don't think that's necessarily relevant. It's on his Twitter. So he made an ad on Twitter. And then I'm assuming that this, crypto bullshit business signal boosted that message. So, but he still has general influence. It's easier to rebuild a fallen platform than it is to build a new platform. People still have a level of familiarity with you and also give you like another chance. It's a little bit of a different struggle, quote unquote, but it is easier to rebuild that. Like when I started redoing TikTok, people are like, "Oh, Papa Gut, like I remember that guy." So it gives you a level of familiarity that makes it easier for you to climb. So, and that's what he has. He still has that brand that's accessible on Twitter.
Thing happens.
People lose money when they buy Mad at the Gathering cards.
Right.
People lose money when they buy Beanie Babies. People lose money when they buy a pet rock. You're losing money when you purchase just about anything.
What, bro? You engage with like some pump and dump. What are you talking about?
That was my idea for.
He knows that there's a significant difference between like a Beanie Baby collection, versus like some kind of a crypto bullshit. Like nonsensical, like what it is a scam. Like I'm pretty sure that fucking, what is the coin called again? I'm pretty sure it lost a significant amount of value
for this.
And if it hasn't yet, it's because the creators of the coin are like, oh shit, eyes are on us right now. Well, shit, eyes are on us right now. We're gonna have to like not dump it yet, or else people will get mad at us. Like that would be the reason why. Because they don't want that heat, so they're just going to wait for it to die down, and then they're going to blast off this coin.
I literally said in my launch video, you can't get rich buying this, you'll go broke buying this. That was the point of...
Thank you for the $5 from DJ Trey. I can't believe you would scam your fans like that. How could you? You were the chosen one. It was said that you destroy the crypto, not join them. I'm sorry, brother. This definitely is me. It definitely does less hair than I do.
The video is to be funny, it's to be ironic, it's satire.
We have the same amount of hair.
To say if you
no, it's the joke here isn't don't purchase the coin. The joke, he's just making a joke about the situation to try to pull people in to buy it. He's not like making a it's all plausible deniability. It doesn't matter. We already know this.
Purchase this coin, you'll go broke like I did. And that's the entire point. Yes, there was a possibility that someone would lose money because they purchased a stupid meme coin. But when you purchase Beanie Babies, you lose money too. Nobody.
Yeah, you still have the Beanie Baby to exist, though. Okay, there's still a tangibility there.
They got rich selling Beanie Babies, and everyone has enough sense not to do it. And I genuinely.
It's so much different. This is a heavy gamble in like an unverified stock. That's basically what crypto is. That's what we're talking about, and you plugged it for people. Because you got to pay out for it.
As naive as this might be.
Even though you know that this is how these types of situations work, you still did it. And so.
Felt like people had enough understanding and sense for that.
I mean, you've been on the internet for a long time. You've taken sponsorships. You've worked with lots of different companies. I think it's kind of just plain ignorance at this point to just assume that people don't take any guidance from the creators they follow. Yeah, sure, you played it as a character.
If they took my guidance, they would have not bought the coin, because I told them, if you buy this coin, you'll go broke. So clearly you're telling me that people would not take my guidance.
He's manipulative. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, right? It's like, if you look at Boogie's behavior in general, you have an unwillingness to work, to be as lazy as possible, to have everybody else do things for him. He begs his friends to pay for his insurance. He doesn't put any work into actually working. He begs his friends to create an actual podcast so he could just show up and do absolutely nothing except for embarrass himself for money in the easiest way possible. He has his girlfriend come on to his documentary and then makes her cry for the camera. He like sexually exploits her for money because he's unwilling again to do any work. He manipulates his fans. He is his parents that he talks about, right? Like, he talked about how he doesn't want kids because his parents were abusive and manipulative and this and that. Yeah, and so they've created him. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So the one good thing you can have out of this is, like, yeah, he won't have any kids. But that's pretty much it. He's just he's a public spectacle. He's just like he's the shittiest what do they call him? Like VH1, bullshit, performative celebrity, yada yada yada. He's one of the last. I would say that the internet is going into a more genuine space. That's just what he is. And instead of trying to actually put in some work to do something productive with his life, this is what he's decided to do, and his legacy will be nothing. So as we all die, because we all will, he will have nothing positive remembered about him, if anything's remembered about him at all. And he will have had no positive impact on anything in any capacity. That's who he is. That's what he decided he wanted to be. And it is what it is. That's just life for him. So, yeah, man. I mean, there you go, bud. Good job.
They would see what I had to say and do the opposite for some reason.
It's more about when they hear a creator is a part of something, or especially a part of a community, because one thing you've kind of talked about a lot, and one thing you were bringing up at the beginning of this conversation, is that even if the people you
Sorry, I had to remember to send my wife a Snapchat so we maintained our streak. So
were working with are holding on to it, they're holding on to it for a community reason. And you said you wanted to participate in the community because you just sit at home doing nothing, being on Discord all day.
Yeah, well, it changes every other day. It goes from, oh, well, this is just a meme coin, to like, well, this actually, I wanted to build a community or something. It's like, okay.
And if your fans want to join you in that community, that means they're required to get a part of something risky and lose their money.
Actually,
yeah, that is what it means, even though you could just make a Discord. It's because it's a lie. It's a bullshit excuse.
to join to join the Telegram community and be part of it, you don't have to hold a single coin. In fact, CoffeeZilla came in there yesterday. He participated in the community just yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. So he's certainly not holding a single coin. So I don't understand what the problem is. Feel free to join the Telegram. It's entirely free.
He doesn't understand what the problem is, but he's been on a tour of apologizing all over Twitter since he released this situation. So it's gone from, oh my God, like, I fucked up, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 to like, well, I don't really see the problem. It's because he's lying. He knows he's lying.
You don't have to hold a coin.
Okay, so when you launched it at the Telegram community at the same time of this coin, they certainly felt a bit more partnered on the other end from the community standpoint, right, from the consumer standpoint. Do you not feel there was...
if you'd like to participate in the community, you can purchase exactly one coin. And the last time I checked, that's worth 0.0003% of a penny. So if you would like to waste a fraction of a penny to join this community, you're welcome to do it. But you could also do it for free.
Now, when it comes to, you say it's not a pump and dump. People say it's a pump and dump. Obviously, there's $3 million of trading volume the day that you talked to Coffee. And, you know, many people advise you not to go into this, but you still decided to because you were getting paid. And obviously, they use celebrities' faces like this. For example, with Solana and Pump.Fun, people like Jason Derulo and Little Pump have done very similar things. And it makes these platforms, you know, a good amount of money. It gets people on the platforms. Whether or not they do pump and dumps is, you know, that's to be said, but obviously you got paid for this. Now, I think kind of like usual in the conversations we had on Financial Audit, the conversations you've had around lots of different drama, you do kind of go the potential victim route, and you say that you're...
Yeah, he always goes the victim route.
...using the money for medical expenses.
Yeah, which is just a lie. It's enough is enough. This guy is not he's not honest or accurate about his medical expenses or anything like that. This guy has talked about how he's on like some kind of Medicare or Medicaid. Okay, he's not paying, like, he doesn't have all these bills worth. He's probably hit his deductible. I'm sure he pays some money, but he doesn't have the bills that he's pretending that he has. It's an excuse so that he gets to go like, oh, well, if you're going to criticize me, you realize you're criticizing a guy with cancer. which, by the way, he doesn't really have. Like, he has markers for cancer, and the markers for the cancer that he has are like a 20-year life expectancy. He's full of shit. Like, it's everything is like, pity me, pity me, pity me. He likes it. He likes it. I bet he would love it if he got like some kind of terminal cancer. Like, he wants to be a victim. It would make him happy if he was like, the more of a victim that he is, the happier that he gets. This is the attention that he wants. It's what he craves. He's pathetic.
Now you got $5,000 up front, and then you're supposed to get $5,000 on the back end. Are you getting that $5,000 on the back end still?
Of course he is.
So.
Currently, it's a pending payment on a platform, and I'm waiting for it to come through.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Obviously, it is.
I'm hoping that I still will.
It is a waste of taxpayer dollars.
And if not, $5,000 for selling pet rocks to people is probably a decent payday.
Hey. What's up, Caleb? How you doing, brother? What's going on, my dude?
Originally, they did have me.
What the hell? I didn't even unpause it.
Be set up to where I could earn 2% of whatever the coin was worth, but I burnt it because, again, I don't want to profit from any potential pump and dump.
He's sitting here insisting that this was a legit coin, and now he's saying he doesn't want to profit from a potential pump and dump. What's the answer here? He's just constantly dishonest. I doubt that he's going to forego any payment. He's full of shit. Obviously, because he's not going to. Does he show receipts? I very highly doubt he's going to show anybody any level of receipt in any capacity. So,
and yes, $3,000 of that $5,000 has already gone to wipe out medical debts that have accrued since the last time I did your show.
Okay.
And then if I get the second $5,000, I'm taking your advice and I'm paying down my two largest debts to zero, because one of them's drawing out $300 a month, the other's drawing out $286 a month. That's basically found money for me. So I would very, very much like to use the second $5,000 for that, depending on how this next month goes. I do have a colonoscopy at the end of this month.
Yeah, all things that I almost guarantee are getting fully covered by his shit at this point. So
we have a bone marrow test, a bone marrow biopsy we need to do, a bone density test we need to do, and I don't know, the position I'm in right now, the medical bills are endless. So it's just a matter of...
Again, there's no way he's paying for all these. He's on like some kind of Medicare or Medicaid. These things are covered for his plan. I'm sure he's hit whatever deductible that he might have. It's all just an excuse.
Finding the money where I could find the money. And in this particular case, I was getting paid to do a joke. I was getting paid to make fun of myself for losing my money in crypto. I was getting paid to...
I'm sure they were just paying him to try to advertise the coin in whatever way he thought fit, and that was the direction that he wanted to go. It wasn't for that, though.
Take off my shirt, put my girlfriend in boy shorts, pretend to be Andrew Tate, and make fun of crypto bros. Okay. I don't understand how that joke fell so flat.
Well,
because it wasn't a joke, and he was just making fun of himself to plug the coin. It wasn't a, hey, don't actually buy this. Like, we already know this, though.
Because people are going to lose money, like innocent people who look...
Do I think his scam cash is a tax-free income? No, of course not. You have to pay taxes on that, 100%.
To you.
Well, so two things. Number one, you can take a look at the top wallets, the people that both lost and gained money. And these people are deeply entrenched crypto bros who are going to lose money anyway. They trade hundreds of coins every week. They're holding dozens of meme coins. I just happen to be one of the coins that they traded. And their trade volume does not seem to go up at all. Secondly,
it's crazy. Why was he was apologizing for like the last week in general, and now all of a sudden everybody can go fuck themselves. It's crazy.
The idea that one of my fans could have...
I mean, it wasn't even just that one advertisement. His whole job was to continuously plug this coin for like a week, no? Like, that was the whole thing. He had to do like 7 days of plugging this.
Signed up in the brief window of time that they had to sign up is a statistical impossibility. It takes hours, sometimes days, to get approved on Coinbase. So the only people that could have invested in this thing were people who were investing in crypto coins all day. Okay. And
he's really got his arguments on lock, dude. He's gotten enough time to come to terms with with what he feels is a decent argument against this. So cool.
Investing in meme coin.
Now next time he does some kind of crypto scam, he's going to have all the arguments he's going to need.
And you have to be a certain...
Boogie speedrunning is all fall off. No, he's already fallen off. Like, this is the strategy now. The strategy is rage bait for attention as much as possible, so people go watch the podcast about me being a fucking fat loser failure. That's the whole thing. That's what it was from the start. That's why he's messaging CoffeeZilla in the middle of doing this deal, because it's not about like, oh, I did the wrong thing. It's about getting him to cover it so that more people will see it, more people will see him, and more people will go and look at his content. That's all it is.
Kind of silly to decide you want to buy.
Oh yeah, he's definitely coached. Well, the conversation is very different with you, Caleb, than it is with CoffeeZilla. Like, he had no idea what to say, and now he's been like coached of like, okay, what do you say here? What do you say here? What do you say here? Oh, well, this takes a really long time to do this. And it's just these guys. It's all an excuse. It's all a walk back. And so if you haven't seen the original conversation with CoffeeZilla, seeing this for the first time, this looks good. This looks okay for him. If you don't know that he's a bullshit artist. If you're just like a random person and you watch this, you're like, oh, I guess these are good points, right? If you're just like a nobody that doesn't really engage in this type of stuff. Which means that you're healthy, okay? Because all this stuff is fucking brain rot. But that's what it is. That's entirely what it is.
Boogie2988 meme coin. I genuinely, still to this moment, my developer wants to make you whole. If you can prove that you are the person that signed up for Coinbase that day, converted it to Solana, and purchased my meme coin and lost money, we want to make you whole. Please come forward.
None of this is real or true.
We said that for a week now, and no one has, because that person does not exist.
Okay.
So I'm a bit confused because, you know, you have made apologies. You said you were wrong, but then during this conversation as well, you're kind of making it sound like nothing was wrong and that this whole thing was okay, but you said you'll never do it again. Why would you never do it again if, according to this conversation, nothing about this was bad?
Oh, I'd love to see this answer.
Well, as CoffeeZilla explained, there is the possibility of a fan losing money. And it did not happen in the...
That's not the possibility. It was explained that this is most likely a crypto pump and dump. And you apologize because I didn't realize it. I didn't know. Which he did know.
This case, and I'm grateful for that. But it's not a possibility that I would like to risk again. I know what it's like to lose your money in crypto. And even though I'm telling you not to buy it...
Didn't it turn out that he didn't lose as much money in crypto as he pretended that he did? Like Mudahar exposed him for that or something? I can't remember the specifics, but there's so much Boogie lore.
Even though you know it's a dumb investment.
Do I think you should watch the OG video first? Yeah, I mean, you should probably watch either CoffeeZilla's video or my video covering CoffeeZilla's video first to get that tone, and then watch this after. Because this is a very good... we'll say exercise and just observing his shitty dishonest behavior. So you could do that for sure. It's not a bad idea.
Investment. There's the possibility that someone could be as stupid as I was, and I don't want to take that risk. That's where the apology came from. Coffee got into my head in that first conversation.
If he gets through this this whole bullshit scheme well, he would do another one. I don't think anybody would want to hire him because he's doing an abysmal job. He plugged the coin, and it sounds like he did pretty good because he got a lot of views on the plugging of the coin. But then the backlash that he not only got, but he played into the content strategy that he engaged with to advertise this is a problem. Like I said, and I know I've said it multiple times, but like the second that he did this, what did he do? He reached out to CoffeeZilla. Like immediately, he reached out to CoffeeZilla. It's clear to me that that was part of the strategy of plugging this coin, as well as plugging his brand as being a big fucking joke on the internet. And so I can't imagine that the coin, the distributors of the coin, or however you'd want to communicate that, I can't imagine they're exactly thrilled with how he's taking this and baiting into it for as much attention as possible, because it brings potential backlash onto the coin, which is not what they necessarily wanted. They wanted to do their pump and dump bullshit. They wanted to do their pump and dump bullshit and be like mostly left alone, and people would be like, oh, whatever, this is like typical bullshit. But instead now they have to deal with like his entire, the people that keep tabs on him, basically.
And he insisted that there were dozens of fans losing millions of dollars. And of course, that gave me a crushing guilt. But I've had an opportunity.
Oh, he's just an empath, guys. So, he just felt bad because CoffeeZilla was wrong about it.
Opportunity since then to look at the wallets, to look at the transactions, and have a better understanding of who bought it and where the money went. And I can safely say there was no fan that
I could safely say that we're waiting until everything dies down before we dump this coin.
got grifted here. Okay. The people that traded this coin were crypto bros who were going to trade all day anyway. and they were going to trade it on meme coins because they were holding meme coins.
I like how this is the implication here. Like, he's implying that he knows people are going to lose money on this coin, but they're just crypto bros who lose money on all coins. So who cares about them? That's pretty much the whole thing. He's not even saying that it's going to be... I don't think a single time in this conversation, correct me if I'm wrong, did he say that this had the possibility of actually being productive for anybody. Like, not a single time did he talk about the stability of the coin or how it could make money. He's just focusing on the people who might lose money or probably will lose money, are just crypto bro losers that do this for fun. It's a hobby, right? Because they like to lose money for fun. It's not some kind of like a get-rich-quick scheme that they're desperate to engage in because times are tough right now for people in general. But I'd say especially young men who have a higher expectation of them providing for a family than women. I'm not saying women don't have it hard. I'm just saying that's the people that are getting targeted more than anything else. So especially sexless young men. Like, let's be real.
And I feel like that's an important message. I feel like it's important that people understand who actually bought it, why they actually bought it, and what the investment was in their mind. And the investment wasn't, I'm going to get rich doing this.
That is the investment. That's why people are buying it. Nobody's buying it to lose money. They're buying it in the hope that this is the one that gets them lots of money.
The investment was, this is a funny fucking token. It's a stupid token. It's a hilariously bad token. I'm going to buy it because it's funny.
Yeah, money for fun, baby.
Well, you didn't know that going in, though.
Okay.
Like, you didn't know that going in, though, because let's just say that no one lost money, and this is quickly moving. This is barely even a week old, so there's still time for people to come forward and say that they've lost money. You know, they might not be following everything online.
Does Boogie deserve his cancer? He doesn't have, like, real... He has markers for a very livable cancer. That's really what it boils down to. I saw that there was some guy on Twitter that was, like, shitting on him because that person actually had cancer and had to go through, like, legitimate treatment. Boogie has the markers for maybe cancer, and it's a cancer that has like a 20-year plus life expectancy. Okay, his horrible eating habits are what's going to take him out before the cancer. Let's be absolutely real.
And we will make them whole when they do.
Sure, but going into it, you didn't know that for a fact. You were willing to post this to your entire audience, pet rock or not. Pet rock is physical. People don't use pet rocks as investments. Crypto is, in general, whether or not a stupid, dumb, or great, or, you know, fun investment, people use it as an investment. Pet rocks are used because they're dumb pet rocks. It's not the same thing.
Beanie Babies is a better example.
No, it's not. Like, yes, Beanie Babies are a collectible, but people aren't collecting Beanie Babies in the same way that they're doing crypto. It's just not the same thing. It's not the same relationship. Like, my wife and I collect things too. You can see there's like shit behind me. There's like Loungefly bags. They look nice. The resellability isn't even really a factor for us. We just like to collect them, and then some of them sell. It's really not the same as somebody that's going in for crypto. Like, I think everybody who does like a crypto situation is looking to make money out of it. People who are collecting tchotchkes is what we're going to call them. They might want to maybe collect money later on in life, but it's not like this legitimate investment. It's just not the same thing as Pokemon cards or fucking Beanie Babies or Squishmallows or Loungefly. It's a crypto coin that most people, I would say, are going into it hoping to get like a return, hoping that this is the one thing that like gets them rich to help them escape from their miserable fucking life. It's not the same thing, and he knows it's not the same thing. But again, he's been coached on this. There's no way he hasn't. He's been coached on it. He has a bunch of excuses. That's pretty much all it boils down to. So
Beanie Babies are a stupid investment, but people thought they were going to get rich doing it. And crypto...
People thought Beanie Babies looked nice, and then some people are like, oh, we can make some money on this, and then the fad died down. There's a significant difference.
It was a stupid investment, but people think they're going to get rich doing it. And I understand absolutely that going into this,
most people aren't buying fucking Beanie Babies to get rich. Okay.
There's a possibility there would be someone as stupid as me, but that's why I said in the launch video, buy this and you'll go broke. Me and my developer went round and round about that. And I made it abundantly clear that going into this, I had to talk about what a stupid coin this is.
No, they didn't. There's no way that you went round and round about it. This is another new talking point. Like, no, the developer didn't like the ad that I did for them. That's just not true. Like, and only an idiot would believe that. That's just dumb. I'm sure he was able to have some level of creativity or creative liberty on creating this, the advertisement for it, and he exercised that, and this is the way that he decided to go. That's literally all it is.
What a stupid investment.
I wouldn't even doubt that he went into it without it trying to be a plausible deniability scenario where it was more than anything else. He just did it because he thought this would be the better way to go, and it just happened to work out that he has another argument, another excuse for it.
Investment it would be, and that we're doing it to build a community and do it because it's funny, and that's my pitch. And yes, you're right, there was always the possibility that there's people out there stupider than me, but boy, that's pretty impressive. If you
Boogie's not that stupid of a person. Like, he's very lazy. Like, he knows what he's doing. This is the thing. Boogie likes to pretend that he's like a very stupid person. He knows what he's doing when he's doing it. He's not the most intelligent, manipulative person in the world, but he knows what he's doing. That's why he got coached before he came in here. That's why it's part of his content strategy to embarrass himself so that people watch his podcast. He's being relatively calculated. Now, I'm sure he has help in the back end, but that's the only reason that he's able to lean into this behavior is because he feels that he can use it as an advertisement. Back in the day, he was the same person, but he didn't feel like he could do this because he wanted to maintain his credibility, right? Like, that was his whole thing. It was for show, was being, I mean, according to him, the Mr. Rogers of YouTube, right? So he tried to act in a way that would basically encompass that. But now, it's part of his content strategy to act a fucking fool. That's it. He's not that stupid. He's not. He knows what he's doing. He even, like, the crypto investment wasn't even necessarily that stupid. It was going pretty well until it didn't. Right? So, yeah, he's just full of shit.
If you can listen to a fat man say, I lost my life savings doing this, now you should do it, that's a special kind of stupid.
It is, but they might be in your audience.
But most people don't know who you are in that intimate way. It was like 7.5 million views. Most people aren't keeping up on all the Boogie drama. Okay, so most of those people were Twitter, which is a different audience than YouTube. That's why you will plug stuff on Twitter to pull people to your YouTube audience. They don't know, like, the ins and outs of who you are and what you've done.
And you're willing to let them lose money even if they're in your audience and they're stupid?
Look, man, I advertise Raid Shadow Legends, and that game is quite literally a predatory app designed to trigger people who have gambling addictions.
So, Raid Shadow Legends, again, is different from a crypto coin. There is absolutely a truth to free-to-play game models trying to prey on whales, is what you call them. People who are willing to spend a lot of money on a game. 100%. But Raid Shadow Legends is still a game that's actually decently enjoyable. People like the game. It just has a shitty free-to-play model to extract as much money as possible from whales. But you're getting a value out of the game. And most people who are going into the game to play the game for what it is and not spend a lot of money. That's why they're preying on these whales. Most people who engage in crypto, I don't think this is an unreasonable thing, especially some kind of bullshit meme coin, are usually men, younger men probably, that are desperate for some kind of financial reprieve and are hoping this is the one. This is the next fucking dog coin, whatever the fuck it's called. That's who's engaging with that, okay? This crypto situation is not a Beanie Baby. It's not a pet rock. It's not a fucking Squishmallow, okay? It's not Magic cards, and it's not Raid Shadow Legends. It quite literally is designed to make money. That's all it is. Again, it's all coaching. It's all coaching. All these things were brought up the entire time.
So you'll take any sponsorship.
We've all been on this platform. At the end of the day, I don't think what I did here is much worse than Raid Shadow Legends.
He doesn't believe that.
Except when people advertise Raid Shadow Legends, they say you should play it. I said, don't.
Yeah, they say you should play it, not you should spend a bunch of money on it.
Don't buy this coin. I could never get paid to say don't play Raid Shadow Legends, could I?
So on the sympathy,
okay, but if you made an ad that was like, hey, don't play Raid Shadow Legends in an ironic way, which is what the ad was for the coin, then yes, it would be a fine ad to get people to look at it.
Part of this, you did tweet yesterday that you paid $1,000 for past due credit card that was maxed out from previous medical debts, $550 on a weight loss drug, $500 on a medical. overdue medical debts, and 189 on new medications. Now, I'm curious, because you certainly put that out there, it looks more of a sympathy play, which, you know, whether it's real or not, okay, would you be willing to provide these statements of proof to
let's see.
show that you did?
Provide them to you, and I'll also provide them. I've already provided them to CoffeeZilla, and I believe they've been passed on to Walmart. So these receipts are already obviously out there. Coffee decided they weren't good enough because
they probably weren't good enough.
2 of them are for Walmart, but Walmart's my pharmacy, so it's really weird that that's not good enough.
If Walmart's your pharmacy, it will indicate on the receipt what the item is for. It's more than, it's my pharmacy. My pharmacy is Costco. It still indicates on the receipt. And actually, I'm pretty sure, I have to go look to confirm, pretty sure it confirms that it is from Costco Pharmacy, because these are 2 separate entities with 2 different types of receipts. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. But I could be wrong about that. So those receipts just sound like expensive Walmart receipts, instead of necessarily being for whatever it is. Why not release it to everybody then? Like, why not just release it to Caleb? What's the issue there?
I offered to show him photos of the medications that we purchased, and that wasn't good enough. I don't understand.
Then that means to me, because CoffeeZilla is not a stupid person, and I don't think that he's the type of person to double down for no reason if he got explicit proof. It sounds like the receipts aren't verifiable enough to actually verify this situation. There would be like a SKU number of your medications on the receipt. That's how these things work.
Exactly what the problem is, but be aware that 2 of these are Walmart receipts because they are my pharmacy. They are a pharmacy for the majority of Americans. They're the most popular pharmacy in the United States.
Okay. Now I have one more question for you, and then I'll give you the final word. So you can agree with these or disagree with these, but I'm going to go through them. When talking about you, man, racist comments on Twitch in 2019, aggressive mutual, staying neutral on Gamergate, aggressively admitting to tax fraud during a live stream, domestic abuse
Is that what he did?
allegations, nudity violation on Twitch, fighting with everyone on Twitter every second of every day, responding to everything on Reddit threads that criticizes you or your videos, questions about your divorce, massive age gap in your current relationship, discharge, firearm, and, getting in trouble legally with that.
Just to be clear, inviting Frank Hassel to his house and calling him, I believe, a pussy, and then when he showed up, pretending like he was the victim is what actually happened. Okay? It's another victim complex where he pretends that, like, there was nothing else I could have done.
Playing victim to beg for money from your audience, and now crypto and being a lolcow by every definition, including your own definition, and probably recording a podcast yesterday about this very situation in person.
Yeah, I wonder if the question is, like, why should anybody believe you?
17,000 to 64,000 views per video on your main channel in the last 2 months, losing 10K subs in your last month. Is this your play? Is this your future? Scandal after scandal, just to try to stay relevant instead of making genuine, honest, good content to keep people around?
Yes. Thank you, Caleb. I love that question. What a phenomenal question. Because this is one of those questions where there really doesn't need to be an answer, and there doesn't need to be any pushback from Caleb. He just collected all the scandals from Boogie over the years and said, is this your content strategy? It doesn't matter what Boogie's answer is. I think everybody's going to look at that and go like, wow. I think there's a lot of people that are going to look at that and go, wow, I never thought of it like that. Right? I have, because I'm the smartest guy in the world, right? Just kidding. But I think that like a lot of people are going to go, oh shit, I never even thought about it like that. And that's it. And like I think that's one of the most like, yes. Like that's the realization people need to come to understand that like this is a performance to get people to watch this podcast, and like you should try to be aware of that, because don't fall for it.
Well, first off,
oh, you're still in here. What's up, Caleb? I like that question though.
When you describe the person you just described, I don't think anyone should be buying that person's crypto coin. So if you listen
again, I mean that was actually a good optical answer. I'll give him that. It's a coached answer. But again, Twitter is a different audience. Not everybody is keeping up on everything that's going on with Boogie in general. So when that gets boosted on Twitter, it's not all of his like longtime fans that are super educated on his shit. Most people aren't that interested in Boogie. They're just like, oh, what a loser. And that's it. And they've moved on. That's pretty much it. So it reached a whole new audience of people who are not aware of his nonsense. So just to be clear, it's easy for him to be like, because if you know about Boogie and you still bought this coin, you are an idiot. But a lot of people didn't. They just didn't, because it's a new audience of people that don't necessarily know who Boogie is, especially not in his an intimate capacity of all of his past mistakes.
Into that list of things and you're aware of them and you decided to pull out your credit card to purchase my crypto coin, you're a special kind of weirdo, and I love you. But you're weird and you definitely are very bad with your money. Secondly, Mudahar and Charlie both pointed out that I use stupidity as a defense, but it's not just a defense, it's how I navigate the world.
No.
I tend to not be the most intelligent person.
But like I said just before, Boogie's smarter than he plays on. He leans into it because he gets to go like, oh, I'm just a dumb guy. I'm just a dumb fat guy that shakes his belly for money. No. Like, he's his abusive parents. He's his manipulative parents. And that's why he says, I don't want to have kids because I don't want to do the same thing to them. Right? Like, I remember him saying that a long time ago in some kind of a documentary. So...
And I tend to make very emotional decisions when I don't really understand or know what to do. But absolutely, if you want to watch the Lol Cow podcast and watch me be a complete idiot, it's a great place to do it.
Hey, Lol Cow podcast, guys. We figured out how to get the plug in there organically. We did it. We couldn't figure out how to do it in CoffeeZilla's video, but we figured out how to do it here.
We put on a good show. We got Jordy over there, and he's almost as big of a lol cow as me. Is my strategy to continue to be controversial and do controversial things? No. But when this opportunity fell in
yes, the answer is yes, it is.
My lap, and I knew that it would be controversial, and my developers and my friends were all telling me no one would purchase this coin, and knowing that...
So this is an admittance of what I was saying. He did this for the controversy of it. This is him just admitting that he did it to be controversial. He intentionally did this coin to be controversial. That's what is being said right now. Now, it might be true that he's like, should I do this? It'll be a really good point of controversy. Like, what he's telling us right now is that from the start, whatever people he was talking to were like, Boogie, you have no pull left. No one's going to buy it anyway. Take the $10,000 and we're going to farm the controversy for our podcast. That's what is being said. And you know what? I might believe that. I might believe the argument of, yeah, I didn't think people would buy it, but I did it to drum up controversy and to collect a quick 10,000. And if he had just admitted that from the start, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Because I would at least be, yeah, I engaged in something that was probably a pump and dump because I needed the money and I didn't think people would really buy it, and I knew I'd be able to farm the controversy on my podcast. It's about how much of a fucking loser I am. Okay, cool. I would have accepted that honest answer. So, yeah, there you go.
Going into this, we would have a good time building a community, goofing off, and enjoying ourselves in the process.
Yeah.
And then
let's just replay that one more time.
He fell in my lap, and I knew that it would be controversial. And my developers and my friends were all telling me no one would purchase this coin.
He knew it would be controversial, but he didn't realize it was going to be controversial. And then he messaged CoffeeZilla right as this was going off, so he can boost up the controversy. He didn't just think this would be controversial. He wanted it to be controversial. He tried to maximize the controversy on this situation. It's the only reason that you would message CoffeeZilla for this.
And knowing that going into this, we would have a good time building a community, goofing off, and enjoying ourselves in the process. And then maybe, just maybe, it would be good for my podcast. I thought, man, I sure need the money. And that doesn't sound that bad.
Wow. So it went from, this isn't really a big deal, to like, yeah, I knew this was going to be kind of a scam. Because why else would it be controversial? Okay.
Once Coffee got into my head and insisted that dozens of people lost millions of dollars.
Right. CoffeeZilla manipulated you into changing your perspective. Wow.
That got into my head, but we now have the receipts, and that's simply not true. So
so basically, Boogie was manipulated by CoffeeZilla to think that this was a bad thing. That's why he reached out to CoffeeZilla in the middle of this situation. This all makes a lot of... This makes a lot of sense, guys. Wow, incredible.
Do not feel bad about that. The one thing I feel bad about is the potential. Like you said, the potential.
Thank you so much for the 12-month small gut from John Pon 09. Papa Gut, would you go on the Lolcow Live to get No, if you're going to Boogie, no, of course not. Why would I ever do that? There's multiple reasons. For one, That's the whole goal, is for Boogie to embarrass himself on the Locale podcast. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go on there and I'm going to yell at him and I'm going to like embarrass him. That's what he wants anyway. That's the entertainment of the content. I don't want to be associated with that. I'm on a pretty steep up right now, especially with the effort I've been putting into like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts. I'm doing like a lot better than I was last year. I'm doing a lot better than I was doing last month. So why would I want to go on for some potential viewership of people like for this type of a thing? I don't want to be known as the guy who bullied some fucking fat person until they almost took their own life. Like, that doesn't sound like what I want to be. 10 years from now, I don't need people looking back and going like, yeah, you remember when Papa Gut like fucking did that? I don't need that. I don't need the attention. I don't want that attention. I'd rather fail as a content creator and get a real job than like sell myself out for that. That's stupid. I'm already on and up. What would be the point? What productivity would ever come from that? What is the point of it? We're talking about a group full of people. Like, Boogie's the only real piece of shit in that crew. But like, what productivity do I have from that? Like, what? There's nothing there. He won't listen. He knows everything he's doing wrong. There wouldn't be anything productive to talk about. Like, there's no reason to talk to him. Like, what's the point? Like, I don't care. Like, I who gives a shit? Like, who gives a fucking, who cares? All right, if I go and look at my TikTok, I'm not even like bragging or anything, but if I look at my TikTok, in the last 7 days, I've gotten 20 million post views. Why the fuck would I need to talk to this person? What awareness am I going to get out of that situation? What do I benefit from? You know what I mean? Like, just from posting on Instagram to YouTube Shorts and TikTok, I've increased my own YouTube revenue. Oh shit! I think I might have fucked up my mic. Did I fuck up my mic? I don't know. My own YouTube revenue has gone up by like 30%. That's not including anything else. So what would be the productivity of talking to this guy for what? What would be the point? There is none. And my mic is like messed up now. I knocked into something. It's annoying. We're going to have to fix that in the middle of this. Thank you so much for the large gut from Caleb, by the way.
Potential. And because of the potential of someone losing their money, I would not take this offer a second time. But controversy is what sells on the internet now.
You don't need to be controversial to sell on the internet. That is what people do. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to fix this. That's what people do when they're desperately when they don't want to actually put in work. That's what they do instead. That's what they do instead when they're not trying to put in work.
If you look at iShowSpeed setting off fireworks in his living room, or Belle Delphine selling her bathwater, that's what
these two situations are like months old. Why are you referencing these two?
Internet largely is for people who want to make a name for themselves.
No, you don't have to do that. If you look outside, and like, first of all, whatever you have to say about iShowSpeed, he's actually entertaining and funny. Like, yes, he is obnoxious for attention. That's true. Let's be real here. We understand that. He's obnoxious for attention and like baiting for that type of attention, but he's actually entertaining outside of that. He offers something of entertainment outside of that's happening there. But you don't have to do that. You really don't have to do that. You could do other things. You can make content people actually give a shit about. So all he's doing here is just telling us that, like, yeah, he's selling out. That's it. Is my mic lower?
My name is currently Mud, so when these opportunities fall into my lap, or when I accidentally do something stupid, I guess I'm going to capitalize them.
He didn't accidentally do it. He just told us that, like, that was part of the strategy, was that he knew what was going to happen. What is he talking about?
I capitalize on them on the Locale podcast, because what else can you do other than build something out of something terrible or cry about it?
Yeah, I don't know how it got lower. And all this guy has to do, I've said it every fucking video, this guy has a way out, but he doesn't want to engage in it. So
I'm not to sit there and fucking cry about it type. I'm going to make content out of it, and hopefully people can laugh at me.
Yeah, it's way lower. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to try to... Oh, wait, did I fix it?
And enjoy it.
Do you want to give any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, once again, I do want to make you whole. If you can provide that you had a wallet that you made. right around that time and signed up and you purchased this coin and you lost money, I will make you whole. Please come forward. I do not want that on my conscience.
He doesn't care.
Do want
he doesn't
to help
care,
you. That said, I'm genuinely sorry for this controversy getting so dramatically out of hand.
No, he's not. He said this was part of the content strategy. It's not fixed, dude. This is like pissing me off right now.
And I'm sorry that I did not stay steadfast of what my original opinion was, which is it's a stupid investment. It is a beanie baby of crypto coins. Keep your fucking money in your pocket. If you buy it, you'll go broke. I don't know why I ever wavered from that, but that's where I am now, and that's where I'm going to stay. But again, if you are that person, come forward. Let me make you whole.
All right. Thank you for your time, Boogie. Now,
Wow, what a shitload of fuck.
as you saw during that phone interview, he claims that this is not a pump and dump.
Thank you so much, Callie Ray, for the 19-month small god. Happy 4th of July, Papa and Gutters. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
But at the peak value of the coin, it was worth 0.001744. But right now, at the time of recording this, it is worth 0.00004182.
Wait, is this a different channel? I thought this was Caleb's main channel. Oh, interesting.
What is up?
I didn't realize this was a different channel. I didn't even realize that. Oh, that's interesting. A tri-weekly news show focusing on finance, business, and economics. Interesting. Okay, I didn't even realize this was a different channel. All right, cool.
Down dramatically.
It seems like Caleb has his content strategy down pat, so he feels comfortable reaching out to new avenues. So,
If that's not a pump and dump, I don't know what the is. Here's my suggestion to Boogie, and it's what I'll tell him anytime he wants to talk, or any other creator that might find themselves in a position like his where relevancy has fallen off. If you want this career to continue and stop the bleeding, create meaningful content that people actually want to watch instead of going drama to drama to drama to drama.
I agree with this. Again, Boogie doesn't even have to produce meaningful content. We are in like the fucking age of shorts. Okay, we are in the age of alternative platform audiences. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube Shorts. These are all different audiences that you can reach out to differently in different capacities. There is pretty much always a new audience that you can engage with. Boogie could quite literally stream video games for 4 hours a day, get off, and then put up like 1-minute shorts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube per day. You have to do some work, some editing work. And he can get people to go watch his Let's Plays or playthroughs of particular video games. He could playlist games that he decided to do playthroughs. He could plug these things back to it. There is obviously a content strategy out there. He claims he loves playing video games all day. I wouldn't doubt that's all he's doing all day. You could just do that. You can just do that. People would watch him. There's a level of familiarity. Not everybody knows that he's like sold himself out. There's a whole new audience on all these different platforms. This is the easiest time to get your shit together, and he simply has no interest in doing any of it. That's literally it. So he goes for this short-term, traffic by rage baiting on Twitter when he could just try to figure out an actual content strategy and be meaningful in it. And like that's a conversation that I would potentially have with Boogie, but I just don't think he would actually listen to it. It would just be that's the thing. It's like it wouldn't be productive. That's a conversation for like Wings of Redemption. Like, dude, you can capitalize off of your fucking you can do more. I understand that there's some people trolling you, but you could do a lot more with your brand and actually, be something worth something.
There are thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands.
Like this is the time more than ever that there are people willing to watch a balding fat fuck play a video game. Because there's lots of balding fat fucks that are stuck at work and they want to play through other people. Like when I was, I used to play a lot of video games and now I do play them while I do content because it's like a distractor. But largely, like there was a time where I was working like 50 or 60 hours a week. I wasn't really playing video games. So you lose that part of you where you get to a point where like you're not even looking to necessarily play video games anymore. Because I don't have the same video gaming habits that I used to. But there are people who are like, yeah, let me watch another person play a game. I've done that before while I was at work. I'll watch lore videos on video games that I don't even play myself. Like, there's a market for it. There's a market for people that, to some extent, like, live through you, but they're not, like, miserable with themselves. So, that exists. It exists. So
thousands of new people flocking to this platform every day who know nothing about you, who want to be entertained.
Yeah.
How many times can you claim ignorance over and over again, dude? I'm not going to say anyone is a truly bad person that I do not know intimately. But if you're not, stop trying to manipulate your audience to try to pay the bills, dude.
I agree with that.
Just make good,
or if you're going to manipulate them, stop being dishonest about it. At least have some fucking balls, you know?
content. You can only claim ignorance and stupidity so many times before the internet just throws you aside and never trusts you again, and you're inches away from that.
All right. Incredible stuff. Now I got to fix my mic. Good video, though. Thank you, Caleb.